Came into this world with wonder. It'll stay with me till I leave. I have a raging sense of hunger, more than you can believe. Will it stay with you, I wonder? Will it go into the sun? I don't ever know the answer. Out here on the run, out here on the run. As I've grown a little older, put my mind at ease. It seems as though you've grown colder, more than you will believe. Will it stay with you, I wonder? Will it grow into the sun? I don't ever know the answer. Out here on the run, out here on the run. Oh, I can feel it. It's gonna rain today. Oh, we're gonna need it. Wash away the pain. Will it stay with you, I wonder? Will it grow into the sun? I don't ever know the answer. Out here on the run, take it to the heart and wonder, where did I come from? I don't ever know the answer. Out there on the run, out here on the run. Came into this world with wonder. It'll stay with me till I leave.
Unbelievable. Welcome to Live from the Space at 100 Taylor, with one of the voices that has everybody buzzing, Eric Bolander. Eric Bolander.
Thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for coming, man. You know, Eric, I have a responsibility. I've been doing this in radio and stuff for 16 years, and there's too much crappy music out there. So whenever there's an incredible songwriter with an amazing personality, an amazing voice, you gotta talk about it, man. It's my responsibility.
I feel like that segue could have went either way there. So tell me about your crappy music. Is what
No, man, that's definitely.
You know, I have promised myself and my close musician friends that I use a lot of my time and effort to boost those that I believe in and the music that I feel that's genuine.
For sure.
So I don't harp too much on, you know, the stuff that maybe we'd call pop country that I don't necessarily like, but I don't know. I just don't want to like allot headspace and public space on hating on something.
Of course.
Like yourself, like find the things that you like, and then, you know, and then
absolutely
ask them to get an interview or whatever. You know, like that's important. I think,
yeah, most definitely.
To really push the narrative toward what we as songwriters and we as like fans of certain music, roots music, I would probably say that's a big umbrella.
Yeah.
But really use that, you know, effort in making more people listen to it and more people hear it that maybe don't necessarily reach out and don't necessarily search for new music.
Totally,
Yeah.
man. And you know, your new album Can't Get There From Here. Like I told you, I think it's one of the early favorites for album of the year.
Oh man,
I mean,
thanks.
you know, I mean,
Thank you for that.
I don't know if I can say this on camera,
There's some
but
good
in
ones,
the
but-
Americana Music Association, I'm a member. I submitted it the other day. You know what
Well,
I mean?
I appreciate that.
It's just a jewel of an album.
Oh, man.
And but yeah, man.
Thanks a
So
lot.
glad to have you here. So let's get on it.
Yeah.
Let me start with this, Eric. I mean, you are a father of a beautiful girl called Ava.
Yeah. Thank you.
But you've been a musician, you know, for a long time. How has fatherhood changed you, man?
Oh man, you know, everything's the same and everything's crazy different. You
Yeah.
know, it's all at one fell swoop. Yeah,
Interesting.
So totally. You, I don't know that you advert or divert emotional landscape. You know, I think you add when you become a parent.
Interesting.
You know, and I think becoming a parent, I added this whole new thing, this whole new passion, this whole new, you know, joy and love. I didn't take from something, even
Yeah.
though you make sacrifices.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
And that's the part that changes logistically. But outside of like time and financial sacrifice, you know, my passion for her is like just as strong or stronger than my passion for music.
Yeah.
But it's not taken away from it, you know.
Yeah.
I think some people wonder, how do you juggle that? How do you manage it? But emotionally, it's easy to manage. I love her to death and
Yeah.
enjoy my time with her, you know.
You almost have like a new why, like that is more powerful than ever, right?
Hey, that's a great way to put it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
man.
knew why. It should be in a song.
Yeah, man. I dig that. I dig that exactly.
Yeah, this is
And-
a co-write. I think it's a co-write.
Yeah. Hey, listen, absolutely, man. Eric, and you know, you've been doing this for a minute, and you know, a month ago or so, you sold out the Burl, which is this iconic venue in Kentucky, and you're playing the basement here in Nashville, and you're playing these great venues and big festivals. Like your name is becoming a household name. Is where I'm going with this.
I hope so.
Yeah, man. How does it feel to be like in this part of your career
You know,
where
it's funny is like Tiffany, my manager, who's with Black Mountain Management. She's like our friendship started.
shout out to Tiff, we love
That's
Tiff.
right.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
love you, Tiff. But she started out, you know, our friendship started out as her being a fan of my music. So for her to like take on a management role with knowing that she's a fan and believes in what you're doing, I think that's such a cool relationship that we have.
Yeah.
And then of course B Taylor is with her specifically as well,
Right,
and she
right,
believes in
right.
B and what she has to offer and what she's doing. And B's here in Nashville, of
Yep.
course. So, you know, I feel like I promised her that I would start celebrating these victories,
Yeah.
because I think most musicians that are trying to climb whatever invisible ladder there is, we're trying to, you know, gain more fans and play better shows and better venues and play with other artists. You overlook what happens and you look for the next. You know, you kind of step on yourself to get to the next version of yourself.
Right.
And it's so easy to do. And I think a ton of my musician buds that I know do that.
Yeah.
Just religiously. They nonstop do that. So I promised, like when she and I got together, and I was like, I'm going to start taking a breath of celery. So the Burl was one of them.
Yeah.
And that's not something we had done before. And our goal was to get a couple hundred people and we'd be happy. And pre-sales were definitely approaching. We knew that we were going to pass that, but you know, we sold it out. You know,
Yeah, man.
And indoors.
Well,
of
you better
course,
get
but
used to it, you know?
I hope, you know.
I mean, I remember when we saw you at Americana
I
Fest.
appreciate that, man.
We saw you at Americana Fest in that
Yeah,
outdoor
that
stage.
was
and
such a fun.
It was just great to see people's jaws.
You talking about
drop
the one in
floor.
the parking lot?
Yeah,
At the basement?
yeah, and just seeing people's jaws drop on the floor was like a hobby. You know,
Yeah,
it's like
and
phenomenal.
Grommy being the VJ.
Yeah,
That's
exactly,
so fun,
exactly, man.
We had a blast that day.
Yeah.
A lot of great talent in Kentucky. And I know Kentucky gets a lot of buzz. And I mean, there's what we have in Kentucky. I think there's pods of that all over the country and all over the world, really. I do. But I think what maybe is coming out of there now is just the fact that we try to lift each other up.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's just like, for example, that Kentucky takeover Americana thing we did in that parking lot of the basement. It's like this showcasing a couple, 2 or 3 like names that are, you know, some
Yeah.
of the people played later, like Kelsey Walden.
Yeah.
And, like, you know,
Totally.
those bands and names are really getting up there, and then showcasing with, you know, folks like myself and Grayson Jenkins and
Yeah.
a handful of others that it's like, hey, this is, you know, ran the spectrum. This is all what Kentucky has to
Yeah.
offer too.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Nashville obviously is just filled with amazing talent. So sometimes it's cool to be, you know, part of that from an outsider.
But there is something special in the Kentucky water, Eric. I think, you mentioned there's different pockets in the country, and there are.
Sure.
But the Kentucky one, man, I got to tell you, I mean, friends of our show, Britt Taylor, Adam Chaffins,
Yeah,
Grayson
they're
Jenkins,
amazing.
Nick Jamerson, man, yourself, Kelsey Walden, like you
Thank you.
mentioned. I mean, there's a long list. Like, there is something special in the Kentucky water, man.
I mean, I have to be biased and agree.
No, it's true. It's true.
I guess I don't want to sound pretentious, when I talk about my hometown, my home state.
Sure.
But I do recognize it, and I get asked that just about every interview.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's outside of Kentucky.
Yeah.
And Nashville's plenty outside enough.
Yeah.
It's its own hub, really. As far as music, it's even separate from the rest of Tennessee, really, in that it's this real important place for folk, country, Americana, roots music, but I do see it in the region back home. Even folks that have planted themselves down here in Nashville that have the Kentucky roots, they'll still come back up through Lexington.
Oh, totally. I love going up there, man.
Kentucky and stuff.
It's great.
Yeah.
And man, and folks may not know you're also an amazing artist and an art teacher.
Thanks. Yeah.
A wonderful art teacher.
So I'm a high school art teacher.
As
well.
A goddamn good one at it.
I live in the right side of my brain.
Yeah, man. I love it.
All times.
At all times. Serious question though, Eric. I mean, how do you, your music career is growing exponentially, excitingly so. You're a father, and you have this art responsibility that you've had for a long time, and you love it.
Yeah.
But do you ever sleep? How do you manage your calendar nowadays, man?
I always laugh when people ask me about time management, my calendar, and I always feel like I'm not productive. That's stupid, isn't it? I really, seriously, I'll watch a movie on my couch. I'm like, oh man, I could tell I've written a song by now. Like in my head, like, dude, just relax, it's fine.
Yeah.
But no, I think the management part, the time management part of it, I've just really learned.
Yeah.
Baptism by fire over the years. In the last few years, I've gotten really good at it, and of course, bring Tiffany into the fold. Now it's another level of, she's literally managing some of my time and taking a ton off my plate.
Cool.
Because I used to do everything.
Right.
And
that helps a lot.
Oh gosh, yes. Setting things just like this and doing the back and forth with some venues or festivals and things and then not to mention the networking that I didn't have in my pocket,
Right.
So, but back to the root of your question, I think my phone calendar it's my Bible.
It's your Bible. I know, right?
Dude, it's just packed.
I know.
Packed. I'll put reminders in it as soon as I know I need to do something.
Yeah.
And notes. I'll put the point
of contact. You put reminders, 2 hours before?
Oh, I'll put reminders. Oh, gosh.
One day before the whole thing? Like a week before.
Oh, yeah. If I got to pick up something from the grocery, I'll put it in my calendar.
Yeah. Sleep. Remember to sleep.
No. I need to work on that and, exercise a little more. I need to chalk some of that time up. But I'm always just,
man.
So I mean, it is hard, but it's also something that if you have the drive for it, it's not hard.
Yeah. I agree with that.
I hear so many complaints, and I have a ton of things I complain about, more time than not in the shadows and with friends, close friends. But at the end of the day, you just got to do it.
Yeah.
Just do.
Yeah.
Don't complain because such and such is gatekeeping something from you, or somebody's, climbing quicker than you. How? Why? What does it do for you to be that on that point of complaining? To just get out and do it. Just do it. Just do it. And I know it's hard for some people. Make friends, network.
Yeah.
Make allies.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not friends, but maybe they're people that you can work professionally with that, if they're not just a horrible person or a bigot or whatever, work with them,
That's cool, man.
Do the best you can, or don't burn the bridge, even though you might not go back across it,
Yeah. That's
kind of where, that's where I live in my headspace
it's
for this stuff. It's the passion will absolutely supersede the time.
So Eric, I wanted to ask you, you're such a thoughtful guy. I wanted to ask you a question because, when you were in high school and in middle school, you were into Nirvana, you were into, you had a rock phase, for sure. And,
absolutely.
And recently, Taylor Hawkins passing, right?
Oof,
and you were also into Prince, who also passed, I guess for similar reasons. So, I just figured you would be such a good conversationalist to ask about this, man, about music.
Well, Taylor being so new, that's tough. He was such an influence on so many different genres of rock, subgenres, and just he had his own thing going, and he very much could have been the lead of any kind of band, which I know he had his own project and stuff too.
Yeah.
And the dynamic between him and David Grohl is infectious.
Yeah.
Because you can tell, like, no one championed Taylor more than David Grohl. You know,
Yeah.
he's probably one of the most
Yeah.
famous names in rock music of today.
Yeah.
And then of course Prince is an icon across genres. There's I mean, people look like me, like Prince. You know, it's like, you know, some hillbilly with tattoos. You know, it's like every type of music listener likes Prince somehow, some way, even if they don't know it. You know, they like his influence at least. Yeah. You know, and so for
when a musician,
those big names, like moving on, it hits you regardless how close you felt to him or not.
Yeah.
It does affect you for sure.
As an artist, how does that hit you? Because, you know, like, it's like, you know, they play to, you know, 80,000 people, but then, you know, they die in like a hotel room or something by themselves, man. Like, when you're an artist, man, does it like kind of like ground you a little bit and like just what matters?
Sure, yeah. I mean, thinking about situations where you're like, dang, okay, I'm in, you know, even if it's personal, like personally you've been close to that kind of scenario, or you just know some folks that are like, man, you know, they're teetering on the edge, and like, I was right there with them. So am I part of this thing, or am I part of like trying to help folks that, you know, maybe need help? You know, and I'm not completely schooled on all the details, but I know it was definitely related to maybe some medications he was on. And things like that. So it's like, I'm sure the bandmates are, you know, really hurting.
They must be going through it.
Really hurting.
Absolutely,
for him and his family, and then obviously it's hard, you know, probably hard for them to hurt for themselves. You know, they're on the road with him, and they're
it's gonna be a minute for sure.
But it does make you think about your bandmates and like the people
and the health on the road, right?
And the people that are around you, and it makes you really respect and like appreciate those folks. I think. Yeah.
Well, Eric, you've been so generous with your time. I know you got a big show tonight in Nashville when we're recording this, man. But if you can take us away with a song, we'd be absolutely honored, brother.
Right on.
Yeah, man.
The only side the gold mines are topside. The fresh air family. Spent your whole life living on the short side, up on Company Street. Take all of your wishes, your thoughts and your prayers, lay 'em on the whisper. The cold men, we just don't care. The cold men, we just don't care. A young girl full of dreams and aspirations sees her daddy full of pain. She wonders if the family seeks salvation while the bills not paid. Take all of her wishes, her thoughts and her prayers, lay 'em on the whisper. The cold men just don't care. The cold men just don't care. Take all of your wishes, your thoughts and your prayers, lay 'em on the whispers. The cold men just don't care. The cold men just don't care. The cold men just don't care.
Man.
Thank
you, brother.
Appreciate it, brother.
Thanks so much for coming, man. Absolutely. Lexington, talking over credits.